Morning guys, it's the Swordfish once again with some Strife gameplay. I will be showcasing this game today, just to show you a little bit of what this game is. This is in beta. I got the beta through a humble indie bundle thing. So just to show you a little bit how the start of the game is and how the interface and whatnot. Very typical, very similar to League of Legends, to Smite, well not similar to Dota. Essentially, you pick in this game you pick your hero. In this case, I'm gonna play as Ace. I can repick whatever hero, doesn't really matter. And then you go into the game with this hero, and they select a team of teammates. I'm kind of unsure if they select random teammates or if they select a team that will work with you. I'm a little unsure on that. I haven't played this game as much. You also select your pet. In my case, it's Pincer is the pet I selected. I'm not really high level, and this pet has a couple abilities, and you upgraded him with time, and you can also buy pets with money or with the coins they give you in the game. Alright, so this makes a weird transition once you play the game. It gives you to a new screen. I don't know if it'll win the game or anything of the sort, but anyway, I will now shut off the video, and we'll move on to the new game. I'll see you guys in a second. Hey again guys, let me explain myself while we wait for the last players to come into the game. So anyway, for those of you that come from say like Strife Reddit and all my subscribers or Twitter or whatever I've decided to advertise this, let me explain who I am and whatnot. I am a professional Dota 2 caster, both in Spanish and in English, luckily. And I play pretty much, I've played almost every Action RTS. I'm actually going to start with Boots. In this case, and I'd like starting to hit this guy with Boots, and one of these. Okay. Anyway, I have played a lot of Action RTS. That's what I'm gonna call them. I don't call them MOBAs. I could start mid. Actually, no. Sorry, 2 mid. So this guy is the one that they're solo. Yeah. All right. So, this is kind of like a showcase of what this game is and the potential I see in it, because I gotta admit that out of all Action RTS games I've played, I think this is one of the few ones that actually has some potential. Unlike the Dead Island one or the stupid DC one, this one's actually quite good. It has a lot of change mechanics, which are small but pretty good. And I think this is made by the same guys that made Heroes of New Earth, which makes sense because they're also the guys that made Dota, some of them. So it definitely is made by people that know what they're doing. So let's talk about a little bit of the change mechanics. Some of the change mechanics that they have, and I will show you as soon as the match starts. Well, obviously the different heroes. Lots of noobs in this game because I bought the beta key, so most people, yeah. But the community is surprisingly good. That's one of the change mechanics. The community here is surprisingly not trolly, and I'm kind of surprised. I'm gonna be trolly though. Okay. So one of the things that they have is shared last hits, and you'll see in a second that even if I, or I'm not gonna talk to these people, fuck them. Even if I get the last hit or she gets the last hit, we both get gold. You know, I mean, you can't see it now because you're not getting any last hits, but whoever gets the last hit, we both get the gold, and it's a shared gold kind of thing. It's very similar to Heroes of New Earth. This game is actually very similar to Heroes of New Earth. It's kind of like Heroes of New Earth meets League of Legends. Anyway. That's quite an interesting mechanic, and more importantly, in Heroes of New Earth, everything is shared, I believe. There is, like, all across the map. Here, I don't think that is the case. I believe that you only share last hits with people near you. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I can tell with my gold that it's not the case, unless my allies are not getting ever last hits. I'm pretty sure you only share last hits with people near you. So, which is a great mechanic, actually. And let me explain why. Well, this allows for something that's not seen often in Dota except in competitive play, which is, you know, people together trying to get a last hit. You know, you only see it in like something like Dota or Strife when it's a support doing that for a carry. But in this game, this actually allows you to guys compete for a last hit, and this really boosts up coordination in the team, among other things. And this is actually a really interesting mechanic, and the fact that last hits are shared worldwide allows for this game to actually have some sort of competitive level, which I think is a possibility for this game, though not too high. Unlike other games, say like Here's a Storm, where I do believe, and honestly do believe, that the game has no competitive just because of its, ease. However, this game also has other, there's some cons to it. For example, there's this thing which is you regenerate health and mana outside of combat. And I'm sorry for stopping a lot. It's just me trying to play the game as well because it's live. I try to play, except for Dota, I try to always do things live, like Strife and whatnot. Anyway, this game, you have out of combat region, both in health and mana, and that's quite interesting. I won't lie. I think it's a really good mechanic. It's a really different way to play the game, but it also kind of boosts idle play in lane and lack of aggression. I've noticed this when I'm very aggressive in lane, and everyone else is quite the opposite. You'd think that it would boost aggression because you have to like chase after the guy a little more and whatnot, make sure that he doesn't regen his health. But the regen is actually not that high to, you know, to commend, or no, not to commend that, sorry, to encourage that, but at the same time, it's high enough that you want to kind of like stay back in lane and not do shit. And I've seen this happen a lot. Like these guys here are just gonna regen now and come back, and there's no such thing as harassment or anything of the sort. And that, I mean, it's good that it boosts this sort of weird aggression in which you have to chase the guy to the end of the earth, and it's kind of like burst damage. It's very much like American football in the sense that it's burst. You know, you have to do stuff as soon as possible. You can't just let them be. You can't harass. I think on a viewer level, it must be very interesting. But on a player level, this does kind of go for it really takes one of the strategic elements from Action RTS, which is harassment in lane, and it just really takes it away, and pretty much by doing this. So you don't really have the harassment in lane, and really lose strategy. And this is one of the things that I kind of dislike about Strife, and it's the fact that it's gone for the really League of Legends route, which is go for an easy game rather than a competitive game. That's not what HON is at all. So it kind of surprised me that the guys at S2 made this game, because it really lacks a sort of like depth to it. More like as opposed to Dota or HON, how hard this game can be is really not that hard. I'm not saying I'm going to win every game. I really don't even know the heroes or champions or whatever you call them. I'm kind of confused. But at the same time, it really does lack the depth that other games, say Heroes of New Earth or Dota, have. It's not something I love about the game, but hey, you know, each game has its own change mechanics. And this is kind of coupled with the fact that it's the goofy art style, which is very much proper of League of Legends. Not gonna lie though, it's not an art style I dislike. Lots of my Dota viewers might be like, "Oh, what are you saying? Stay faithful to Dota." But I gotta admit, it's quite a pretty art style. It's not bad at all. So, oh fuck, I'm not gonna get there. Damn it, I should have used my boots actually. Anyway, it's quite a pretty art style. I like it. It has really nice effects. It's very detailed. And for a beta, which I think is, yeah, it's a beta. It's a closed beta. Like I said, I bought the key. It's actually quite impressive that it already has this kind of nice little art style. Everything is kind of very detailed. And no, I'm not gonna get a kill. Fuck. Everything is very detailed and whatnot, and that's very nice. And that's one of the things that is nice about the game. You can really easily tell how great it really, how much effort they're really putting into it, because of that. However, there's not everything is OCD beautiful. There's some things, like for example, I'm using this hero Ace because it's very similar to Axe and to the Dunk Master. I think as he's called in League of Legends, I'm not sure. But obviously each hero is a ripoff of other heroes and it has influences and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about that because it's kind of stupid. It's an action RTS, only so much creativity you can put in. But, for example, you see this Plin cycle, it says, activate to deal 174.9 magic damage to enemies around you. Okay. It doesn't actually do that. You think it's like a stomp or something of the sort, but it actually does it over time, over a couple of seconds. I'm kind of unsure on how long it lasts. I haven't really counted it. And if you do like this, which is like the kind of like tab kind of way to figure out more about skills or enemies or whatever, it doesn't say anything. So it's just, there's some things which is like, it doesn't do what the fucking skill says. And I mean, I really only noticed this because I'm new to the game. Probably people that are pros are like, oh, of course this is the case, but it's quite a barrier for new people. The barrier for new people should be like a hard game that takes time to master and knowing all the hero's abilities without actually having to check them out. Not, you know, the fucking text and the abilities don't do what they say. That's not a barrier. That's just dicky and stupid. You know? So that's one of the things I've really grown to really dislike about this game. I find that certain things like that should not be allowed. It's supposed to be like at least professionally made game, I know, it's kind of stupid to think that, but it really takes me off. Okay, let's talk about other things that it does. You've seen before, I was attacking that stupid tower, and started attacking the guy at tower targeting me. That is that weird aggro. I don't know if this is the case in League of Legends, but it again, adds to the game being a really easy game. The game is easy. This game is freaking easy. And that just adds to, like, you can't have any early game aggression, because every time you try to attack them under the tower will aggro onto you. A mechanic which I dislike a lot. It really hampers any. It hinders, not hampers, hinders any sort of aggressive gameplay mechanic. Ultimately, dislike it considerably. I'm gonna be perfectly honest about that. I don't know why they decided to do such a thing. It baffles me that they decided to, go for this weird kind of kill her. That's not him. Okay. Weird kind of mechanic. Where you can't pretty much attack anyone under the tower, which are also towers are very powerful, by the way, in this game, similar to League of Legends. I don't really understand, but hey, it's just I don't really get why they did that. But ultimately, all it does is hinder early game aggression and kind of encourage people to play really passively, which just seems like the game is doing all the time. It really encourages passiveness until the mid-late game, where you have to burst in damage. Burst in damage, which you really don't have, because your skills are actually not that powerful, even early game. Something that is just me as a Dota player saying. Skills aren't surprisingly powerful, and I can't even fucking kill a lane creep with my skill, and that's like, what? That's unheard of in things like Dota. But again, that's just how the game works, and it's made so you get items that boost your fucking skill power and whatnot. It's not made to have extremely powerful heroes. That's a fine thing. That's honestly not I'm not complaining about that. Nah, that's not gonna help. The skills are considerably weak, though. I won't lie, and that's a little frustrating. But then again, it's just added to the game. Another thing which is different, which I do actually love a lot about this game, is how objective based it is. You're supposed to take things like the big heroes, Roshan for Dota players, this Golden Harpy for fucking Smite players. These things over here. I'm not gonna just pinpoint them in the map. You're supposed to take them relatively early, and they give you a lot of gold. They're easy to take, but in the sense that this completely objective based. You go for towers, you don't go for kills, even though obviously kills are a big part of the game. And I mean, other games like, for example, Dota or League of Legends, yeah, that's a thing. You go for towers and you go for the special things in the jungle and whatnot. Yeah, true, but it's not so emphasized. It's not like, okay, go for this, like now, you gotta go for it early. That's a really nice thing. It allows for more team coordination. I've seen that the players here are slightly more coordinated than usual MOBAs or Action RTSs. However, this also has a downside, which is that the game itself requires a lot of coordination. That's fine for competitive level, but for things such as fucking, pubs and whatnot, I think they call them pubs, just for casual play, it's extremely hard. And because you have to be really coordinated with your teammates. And this it's weird to see this because, if you think about it, the whole game is kind of made around the game being easier than a normal Action RTS or a League of Legends style in that sense, not HON or anything of the sort. And then they have this, which is incredibly hard, which is the coordination you gotta have with your teammates. And I don't know, I find it a little, oh, fuck. Get away. I just find it a little bit weird. Not particularly something bad. It's just I don't think the guys in Strife exactly knew what they were doing. I don't think they had some sort of objective in mind that they should have. Well, hey, like I said, it's not something particularly bad. It just seems like the game wasn't really made with a kind of a idea in mind, as opposed to other games you can see, like for example, Smite. Obviously it was made with an idea. I'm just making an FPS Action RTS. That's really nice. League of Legends was made to be a easier Dota with much more skill shots and much less strategy. Dota was made to be just like Dota, and Here's a New Earth was made to be a Dota clone, essentially, with lots of new creative ways and new creative heroes. So they all have some sort of plan. You can easily categorize them and stuff. The bad ones have this miscategorization because you don't really know what to do. I'm not saying this is a bad RTS by any means, but I'm at Action RTS by any means, but it does seem to lack some sort of like direction. And, that's not the best. But again, hey, it's not like a bad thing the game has. It's just something that I guess with the end of the beta and the feedback and whatnot, people will start thinking differently. Okay. And sorry, the developers will start thinking differently. That's my guess. That's my guess, at least. Oh, boom! Dunk Master. Okay, just had to do that. Okay, so pretty much it about the game. I don't think there's many new things to talk about. That's actually the only changes they did. And there's slight changes, but these guys clearly know what they're doing in the sense that they're changing this game and making it completely different just by changing a small minor things. A couple other small annoyances, but I really wasn't going to talk about these, but why not? Are the way the hotkeys are bound. Not the best. The way you have to check things like enemy mana is like tab, and then you got enemy health and mana is just tab, and you gotta click on them. Like, I can't click on them. Why? I want to there's no need to do the stupid tab thing. It's kind of stupid. I don't understand the tab mechanic. It's just a little pointless to me. But then again, I think that's just with enough feedback from people, it'll get fixed. So it's fine. Okay, no, we're not going to engage. And it's not really a big deal. The other thing I kind of despise is the whole load screen. It's a nice addition, but just copy the Dota thing. It's fine. Just do the same thing as Dota. They know what they're doing. It's very good. This is just... It's bad. You guys to press the stupid key for the fucking shop and whatnot, and it's just not as great. Simply put. Ah, fuck. Too aggressive. Again, like I said, early game aggression clearly not commended whatsoever. It's not good for you to be early game aggressive, and I don't see really the point of that. I like games where early aggressive. I mean, if you got to compare action RTSs, they would be more like a battlefield, but with less strategy. And then others will be like COD, where you have to use like constant fights, and here it's more like big team fights are the thing, and small skirmishes and burst damage more than anything. Okay. But apart from that, let's talk about this game at a competitive and a casual level. Like I said, the game at a casual level is actually considerably hard because it's harder by people who have synergy with. I think it's easier. It's a game designed to play when you have teammates or something of the sort. But it's fun. It's definitely fun. It's one of the few MOBAs, action RTSs besides Dota and Smite and whatnot, that I've actually found fun and decent and well made. Aside from that, if we talk about competitive, can this game have competitive? Sure, it can, but it can't have a good competitive. I'm gonna lay the grounds here. It's not gonna have a good competitive because of the lack of depth the game has. It's surprising from the guys coming from H1. H1 has an incredible depth, and this game is quite the opposite. There are different builds and whatnot, and sure to try and ha ha ha, it's all fun and games, but it really, really does not have the depth that games like Heroes of New Earth, Dota 2, obviously, Smite, even League of Legends has a little more depth in this game. This game really lacks depth. Also lacks active items, which adds to that, but it's kind of obvious, and I can see this game going competitive, but it's a game when you can casually play for, say, 500 hours or so, and get really good at it, and I find competitive just kind of a laughable thing. No offense to the Strife players. But I find playing this game being competitive, which is a game that's not particularly hard in any sort of sense, not particularly challenging, nothing too much knowledge to know. It just lacks it just needs a lot of coordination and lots of knowledge of the game, of course, but that you can acquire that. That's any action RTS or any team game for that matter. I don't see it going really far. I don't see people being able to change the meta with new builds and whatnot, because I don't see many changes in the meta. And that's why it has something like the team builder where you actually pick your hero and then go into the game, and it works perfectly fine in it, because there's no need for anything but that. There's no need for creating a weird team with weird combos and stuff, because ultimately if you're playing with friends, you know a lot about the game, and you can do this fine, and if you're not, then it's that simple. There's no more to it. Which is, I mean, it's fine. Not all action RTSs have to have competitive, but I've seen the Smite Red and whatnot, and they clearly seem to want competitive, and I really can't see it having at least a considerably good competitive. I just lacks depth. I as a caster can imagine trying to analyze this game, and I can try to imagine analyzing different builds and whatnot, and I really can't see it as something that I could talk for hours about. There's Dota 2 talk shows, there's Strife talk shows, but I can't see talking for hours about this. Not because of my lack of knowledge or anything of the sort. I'm sure there's much more depth than I see in it initially, but at the same time, I played a couple of games. Yeah, I know it says 2 games in my account, but I played more than that, obviously, in alternate accounts. Because I've lost the password for a couple. Anyway, long story. Point is, I really don't see a great bright future for this game as opposed to something like Heroes of New Earth or Dota. If it has a competitive side, which it could, it's a potential, it could be a thing, I don't think it could last for long. However, it does bring 2 really new mechanics. It could be played on like a semi-professional level. I just can't see it as having huge prize pools and whatnot, because it's nice. It's nice to see the coordination, and definitely this game takes a lot of skill. The only thing I'm seeing is that it really lacks a strategic element to it, like a considerable strategic element to it. I just see it not being that impressive strategy-wise. However, builds can be changed and whatnot, but I don't know. It's just not that impressive, except for the objective levels and knowing a lot about the game and knowing when to go for different things. Seems like that's the basis of this game, but again, it's impressive skill-wise, not impressive strategy-wise. Hence why I believe a lack of, unless there's a constant new heroes like League of Legends, like you've seen it. League of Legends has constant new heroes as opposed to Dota, which barely does. Or Heroes of New Earth has considerable amount of heroes, but not as much as League of Legends. Why is that? Well, let me tell you, because it lacks strategy, and so it lacks strategy and be able to change a lot of the meta and whatnot. And people pretty much just played what the pros played, and there's different updates and whatnot, but it wasn't the same as like Dota level. Why do they do and so the constant new influx of heroes kind of kept it alive, kept people playing, and obviously the amount of pros and whatnot, obviously there was also a big part of it. Why I don't think this game will be able to do that, because S2 has 2 games, and they're not the kind of company to do this. At least I've seen in the past. They're not good at the whole let's make a fuck ton of new heroes and not give a shit about the freaking let's not give a shit about the stupid balance or anything of the sort, which just seems to be what League of Legends does. Again, no insult, but anyway, point is, I see a lack of strategy within this game, and I don't think it could go into a great competitive scene. However, it could have a semi-professional, and definitely Twitch streamers could be very common. I think this game would be very fun to stream and very fun to see played. I just don't think that something with a cast would be that fun. I could become easily a caster of this game. It wouldn't take me that long to learn. It's really just watch some competitive, and it's just doesn't seem that promising. No offense. However, there are good things about this game. I do think it's a step in the right direction. And the greatest thing about this game, which I see right now, is that it is ever-changing. It is still in beta. And it has a lot of potential. And would they change some basic things about this game? Add more active items, for example. I think it lacks active items. There's very few. The hotkeys are just a small little thing. Also, consider toning down the whole regen thing. Just toning it down. And change the tower aggro. Just simple things like that would actually change this game so much, you wouldn't even imagine. So I think that's really what should be changed in this game for it to be viable at a competitive level. Viable at a casual level, it's very viable, and I think the whole idea of going for kind of like a team fight kind of thing and going full on for objective-based gameplay and whatnot, it's a great take on it. It's a great take, and it really helps out. And I think it's a really, really nice new take on the MOBA genre, or Action RTS genre, whatever you want to call it. And I think it's good. I think it's one of the few good ones left out there. But if they don't change certain things and stop trying to be so commercial, because this is clearly trying to be a lot like League of Legends. I'm not calling it a League of Legends ripoff. Obviously, I am not that. I'm not a League of Legends fanboy, but it is very, very similar to League of Legends. And one game at success. Don't create a game just like it. Here, look at what happens to Heroes of New Earth as soon as Dota 2 came out. Everyone came to that because it was a Dota clone. It was that. Almost all the heroes were exactly the same as in Dota, and it's fine. I mean, I'm not criticizing it. I loved Heroes of New Earth actually, but as soon as Dota 2 came out, I'm just kind of swapped to that game. It's what happens. So don't try creating a game that's exactly someone else or in the same direction, That's not gonna help at all. So that's exactly what they should do with Strife. Just try not to go exactly in one direction if you want to have this competitive gameplay and a lasting appeal, because for now it's in closed beta, then it'll get to, you know, it'll have, I can imagine it have the same lifespan as League of Legends, which is dying, as Heroes of New Earth, which is dying down slowly. Because you can have multiple games that are really challenging. You can't have multiple games that are easy to play, because all the noobs, so all the people that want a casual game will go to League of Legends and they won't look at this game twice. That's it. You know, there's no point to it. These people are not the intellectuals, not the super gamers. These people are people who just want to play something casually for a while, maybe get into a game for a while, but not something they want to really invest a lot of time of. So by all means, they won't check out different games. There's no point in them doing so. So it's that simple. And I'm not talking, I know it sounds criticism. People in League of Legends take a lot of offense in this when I say that the game is slightly easier or something of the sort. It's not. It's a way to make an action RTS. There's games that are harder strategically, games that are harder skill-wise, and this game is not precisely one that is harder strategically. Takes a surprising amount of skill, actually. But the combos are rather easy to execute. Also rather easy to see. You know, I mean, not talking specifically about Ace, but pretty much all combos are not hard to acknowledge. You know, it's just how it is. But that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Just because a game is welcoming to new players and easier to learn than others does not make it a bad game by any means. The fact that it can do this is actually rather impressive. But don't take away all strategic depth from the game, really. The whole tower thing and stuff is just a little too much, and it's a little too much assimilating to the League of Legends idea. So just take that away, and the game should be able to fine. I think it could have a considerably large lifespan if some changes were made to it, to be honest. And is that no, I didn't get the kill. I was trying to press 1 actually on that one. Okay, well, that guy's alive. And I'll be playing, for those of you that know me or those of you that want to subscribe and whatnot, I'll definitely be playing a shit ton of this game in the future. I find it fun. It's always nice to play. The games are slightly shorter, I've seen, most of the time. Also, add an in-game timer. Not to see by tab, just an in-game timer up top all the time. I hate the stupid tab mechanic. That's just, I mean, yes, you get used to it, blah blah. It's not the lack of getting used to, it's just an annoying mechanic. Stop. You know, add the overlay there. This is not add anything. This is nice. If you press tab, you can get this. It's also nice that you can get this weird sort of thing, the levels. That's I mean, the levels, the kill assist, blah. That's nice. That's not bad. Don't have to, I don't want to click tab every time I have to look at their fucking health or their fucking skills or their fucking items. I just want to press on them. You know, it's really not that hard to do. And again, we should take the objective at this point. At this point, we're strong enough that 2 of us could potentially take the objective easily. God, I missed. Fuck, that was a misplay. And by all means, people that play this game better will probably be like, "What the fuck are you saying? This game actually has a lot of depth and skill and whatnot." And yeah, I bet it does. And I bet I've been fair to it in many cases, but my criticism is there, and I know my shit in this case, and if there's one of the few kind of genres I really know my shit on, that and RTS genre in general. So trust me when I say these changes could definitely be made. It wouldn't hinder the game at all. In fact, it would emphasize the beautiful mechanics that it has. Also, like the little thing here that when you kill it, you get the pushing mechanic. That's very Heroes of the Stormy. I don't know if this game actually came out before Heroes of the Storm, so I can't say that it took the idea from there. But either way, yeah, that's good. Okay. Either way, it's quite nice. It's a quite nice idea. It's actually quite cool. The whole objective-based kind of thing is very nice. It almost feels like a raid when you play it. Very World of Warcraft style, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Definitely a new take on the genre. Beautiful. I like it. I like the different things in it. I just see a lack of lasting appeal, I suppose, and definitely a lack of competitive gameplay, which is mainly what brings the lasting appeal in, really. Oh, I'm eating burritos today. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so that's enough about the game, really. I enjoy it. I suggest anyone that doesn't have it to check out the Humble Indie. But oh wait, it's not up anymore. I suggest anyone who wants to acquire this game to look up for beta keys or something of the sort. I don't have multiple beta keys. Sorry about that. If I get another one, I'll definitely. Oh, I'll definitely try to try to, you know, give it to you people through a Twitch stream or something of the sort. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Well, it seems like a yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that if I get another key. It's definitely a game worth trying. It's definitely a game worth giving a shot. If you like RTS and you've been disappointed with the ones in the past, which have just been a way to cash in on the genre, and this one is not a way to cash in on the genre. Maybe it's because an expert studio, or because the guys that worked in the first original RTS, I believe this was the guys that worked in AM Strife as well, not only Dota. I just think that it's really polished in that sense, and they really know what they're doing, and it's only trying to appeal to the masses a little too much. That's, I think, the only thing that I would say, stop. There's no need for that. There's enough people playing, knowing a lot about Action RTS like myself. You can do fine in this game without trying to appeal to the masses. I love the new mechanics. Other thing that I wanted to talk about that I completely forgot now, I remember. 2 people play mid in this game. 2 people play mid, and because the objective is here, so you get 2 people here, 2 people here, and 1 here. Because the whole point is being an objective game. That is great. That is a great thing. Like, okay, sometimes it happens in Dota. I don't know if it happens in League of Legends, something of the sort. It happens in Dota sometimes when we have like a 2 mid lane, something of the sort. But it is a niche thing. It is for specific lineups and whatnot. It is not a common thing. This is in every game. The more normal thing is to have 2 people mid, and that is great. That is genius. It's a great change in meta, I believe. It's a really nice way to really emphasize the fact that it's objective-based gameplay. I don't know who started it, to be honest. I don't know, like, someone decided, some of the developers came in and was like, oh, 2 people mid. But whoever decided to have this meta or whatever the sort, however this came to be, it is, honest to God, genius. Honest to freaking God, I think it's great. Oh, I messed up there. I think it's a honest, really good idea. Ah, fuck. Okay, got it. They got it. Also, the whole sharing coordination kind of thing, really good. I think it really emphasizes the team play. And it's surprising because the community here, it's shown by the fact the community here is just so much better. And that's only because of the emphasized team play that this game has. To be honest, it's better than Dota. It's better than Heroes of New Earth. It's better than all. It's just a lot of emphasized team play, and that's a great thing. So, no, I've been criticizing this game for a while, competitive scene, whatnot, but let me be honest, I think it has a lot of potential. I'm not gonna. I hate how sometimes I'm really critical about games and forget the good things about them. This game is, quite frankly, a good game, and I think it has potential in the future with just a slight few changes, and only issue being competitive, but in casual, my God, I've been playing this game a lot. I think it's a really fun game for casual. Also, something I didn't talk about, so now is ending. As personal couriers, everyone has their own courier. Yeah. I mean, doesn't really change much. I'm gonna commend this guy because I think he played really well, and her because she was new. Yeah. Okay. I mean, sorry, the game should be restarting soon. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about that. It's quite like, yeah, no, I don't care much about the personal courier thing. It's just kind of like, alright, well, it doesn't really change much about the game. Just gets your items quicker, makes it a little easier for the game, to be honest. It also encourages team play a little bit. Okay. I don't know if I'm still recording. No, okay. Let me start re-recording again. Alright. Okay, so, I don't know. I don't really know. Doesn't really matter much. Like I said, it really doesn't matter in the sense of the game. Other thing I wanted to say about this game, yeah. Well, now that we're talking about this, I just want to know what's best looking. I don't know these stupid prizes. I don't really know what best looking means. I don't know if it's because I was playing Ace or something of the sort. Okay, let's go to the scoreboard. Okay. So the other thing I want to say, oh yeah. The game does not allow you to chat with enemy team while you're playing, which again encourages a good community. That's really nice to see. Zero deaths. Oh jeez, I'm a fucking pro. I guess that's why I got best looking maybe because I didn't die a single time. I don't know. That's really nice. The whole don't talking to the enemy team. I like smack talking, so it kind of pisses me off. But it's a nice way to encourage community. And another good thing that I love about this game, which is it's very popular as S2. All the heroes are unlocked from the beginning. I don't like the mode of where heroes aren't unlocked but not. I love the fact that all the heroes are unlocked from the beginning. That is a great thing. They should definitely keep this up. That is beautiful, and it's clearly trying not to go for the money, but trying to be a good game. Hence why I love this game. It tries to be a good game. It has potential because they know what they're doing, and it's clear to people. Yes, there's some things I don't really quite like. Yes, I think it's an easier game than other action RTSs. Yes, I think the competitive scene will be hard especially to cast something of the sort. But no, do I think this game is going to die off anytime soon? And no, would I not recommend this game. I would love to recommend this game to everyone that's watching this. Because honestly, good shit. Very good shit. Very good potential. So, that's my commentary for the day. Subscribe, like, whatever. If you enjoy Action RTSs or philosophical commentary or anything of the sort. Sorry for the informal review. It's just my kind of thing. And I'll hope you see you guys next time with some more Dota 2 gameplay, maybe even Strife gameplay. I actually will be playing more of these in my channel and my Twitch, which is, again, in my channel as well. Go check that out. And I'll see you guys next time with some more gameplay of some sort and some beautiful, interesting commentary. I'm sorry if I pissed anyone off, by the way, but, you know, I expressed my opinion in a very respectful way. So, I mean, I might be wrong, to each their own, but please do tell me in the comments if you feel that I'm wrong, and feel free to debate me. I'll answer all your questions. Just don't be rude. Only thing I ask. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Love you all.